What is up, people? Today we're talking about stimulus to fatigue ratio. So generally we're talking about exercises that wear us out one way or the other, really two ways. So one is fatigue, what things that actually wear us out from an energy standpoint, versus two, fatigue or failure of the actual muscle fiber. So this is going to be in the context of hypertrophy, meaning we want muscles to grow, getting strong, conditioning, different shit. So when we want muscles to grow, we have to stimulate that muscle, got to break it down so it comes back stronger, etc. So we kind of want to choose exercises that are really going to wear out the muscle and get us close to failure, but we kind of want to lean towards exercises that are not going to really fatigue us, right? Because we're going to run out of energy before we can get to the muscle burning. So there's some exercises that are better for this than others. On the high fatigue side, things like back squats, deadlifts, bent over rows, overhead press, bench press, generally shit that's heavy, and generally things with a barbell, right? Because they're compound movements, we're using multiple muscle groups. If I want to bias my pecs and I'm doing bench press, my shoulders and triceps are working too. So it means that I'm not really putting as much pressure on the chest as I can. Now, not to say these things aren't very useful, especially for building strength and, mobility and things like that, neuromuscular drive, etc. And then we have things that are really high stimulus, things that are really gonna break down the muscle tissue very, very well. But when you're done, you walk out of the gym, that muscle's beat up, but you generally have energy, right? So things like leg extension, one of my favorites, right? Hamstring curls, CC squat, bicep curls, lat pull, which can be a number of different things. But generally, stuff that burns, right? So you're gonna feel a reaction in the muscle fiber itself. It's gonna start feeling mad blood flow, so it's stuff that pumps, right? Things that you're gonna have a little more endurance on, right? If you do a heavy back squat for 5, when you try and get that 6th rep, it's black and white, you make it or you don't. Where leg extension, you can probably knock out 20 and you can probably squeeze out 2 or 3 more if you can deal with the pain, right? Stuff that generally just sucks. Your pain threshold has to be pretty high in order to really fatigue the muscle, but these are things you feel the next day. Now, there's also stuff that's kind of in the middle ground. It depends on how you do it. Like bench over rows, bench press, depends on how you get it done, the load, etc. But these ones like Romanian deadlifts, dumbbell presses, leg press, hack squat, glute thrusters, these things that don't burn you out as much as barbell stuff and heavy compound movements, but they're still compound movements. So they're recruiting different muscles to help with whatever that is. You can perform them in ways that bias one muscle or the other, so that they're still not going to be quite as high stimulus as these ones, but just not quite as fatiguing as these. Now, if you're combining goals like getting stronger and getting bigger, you take your pick. But generally, that's how we do it. Stimulus to fatigue ratio. You're welcome.